Hi, everyone, and welcome. You guys have been waiting for a few days. We finally got our act together between tech and a few other glitches, but I'm here with my gorgeous friend and mentor of many years, Beth Minardi. Hi, Beth, welcome.
Maria, hi, sweetie pie, and hi, everybody. We apologize for our glitches, but they're done and over with. And in life, we get little glitches and we have to manage them, get done, and get over. So here we are. And I'm so delighted to be able to speak to you about what's happening in this beautiful industry of ours. It's not without its challenges, and there's a whole lot of new stuff,
Yes,
right?
yes, for sure. So we're going to guide you guys through what Beth and I have spoken of in our 3 decades of journey. Beth as an educator, as a salon owner, as a stylist, as a teacher, and again as a consumer too, and myself as all of the above, in different realms. So we really want to just bring positive light, inspiration, and action, like forward moving action. We want you guys to remember you can create anything you want as long as you take intentional action and you educate yourself, right? So it's not just about don't watch our video and then be like, oh, all right, I'm going to go back to complaining. Watch our video, be inspired. But then if you need to up your game as a colorist, go into Beth's program. She's the best. I became a top-notch colorist at a young age because she taught me. She was my first mentor. If you need help in business, finance, marketing, then you come and you join my program where we support you. But Beth, let's start out. What do you feel? Actually, you know the data. I always believe, let's talk about the data, right? What are the facts?
Well,
What should stylists be doing today to up their game with their clients and with their performance? Like, what are the things you have done yourself that you think are really friggin' important today? Because things change.
things do change. And as a matter of fact, there's a lot of new stuff going on. And as new things are coming on, the way that we in the past were taught to manage and serve and really provide for our customers sometimes isn't getting through in the beauty schools. I will say this, Maria, I was shocked. I went on Wikipedia recently and
Mhm.
realized that in our country, sitting down, more than 770,000 people are licensed hairdressers. Now, that doesn't mean they're working in our field.
Mhm.
Sadly, beauty school is a wonderful place. However, it teaches us to do one thing: pass a state board.
Yep.
There's a postgraduate area that I like to talk about, postgraduate studies in hair color. And by the way, it involves pricing, customer service, approach, not only the way to interact with a client. Everything is an experience. And what a lot of younger people or newer professionals don't realize, that supposing this new professional is 22 years old, and they have a woman come in who's 31 years old wanting
Mhm.
highlights or balayage or whatever. Do they realize when this woman was starting in salon services, this provider was 5 or 6 years old?
Mhm.
So this woman has had an experience that she has enjoyed
Mhm.
going forward. And when she goes to a new person, yes, she's excited. Yes, she wants something new, but she might be a little frightened.
Mhm.
And really understanding where she's coming from takes effort, desire, patience, and really having a bit of a thick skin, knowing that there is a way to manage the visit. And I don't call it a consultation, I
Mhm.
call it the pre service interview. And here's what's so killing:
Mhm.
these studies from all the magazines and from different groups. I'm a person who's a member of PBA, and
Mhm.
I'm on their board. 97% of hairdressers will say, when asked, did you give this client a consultation? 97% say, of course. 3.5% of clients say they got a consultation. That's a bit of a drift. And I think, and I know people will disagree, I don't believe in volume, volume, volume. Yes, McDonald's makes a lot of money. It's different money from a fine restaurant.
Mhm.
Years ago, there was a movie when Jerry Maguire said, taking better care of fewer people. What I see is called a game called Beat the Clock. A woman is 5 minutes late. She's seeing you for color. She stops at the desk to say hello. She goes to put on a smock. You greet her. She needs to go to the ladies' room. By the time she gets to you, 12 or 15 minutes are gone.
Mhm.
My dear former husband and his partner, David, used to call it, don't give her an RJ. An RJ means a rush job, because if you're looking at your schedule and you see that you have somebody coming in 35, 40, 60 minutes, you might be in trouble. So I advise people to make the appointment at the beginning longer until you know that client. And sometimes what is in the book for what they scheduled for is not what they want at all. They don't just need their regrowth. They need to be glazed. Perhaps they need a few highlights around the face. And the worst thing I think we can do, and I know people need to manage this in their own way,
Mhm.
the worst thing you need to do, and I lost a very big celebrity client who needed a lot of attention. Major, everybody knows who she is, and she's lovely and she's beautiful, and she wanted only one thing.
Mhm.
I want no gray in my deep brunette hair. I'm on air every morning. She's
Mhm.
made up beautifully. She's beautiful. The cut's beautiful. She's dressed beautifully. She goes, Beth, I know what you're known for. I want a rich brunette. I don't want anything else. Did her hair. She loved it. Went across to design, had her hair blown dry. She had been watching me while she was processing, highlighting a brunette sitting across from her. And
Mhm.
we were long-term friends. We were chatting. So important for them to know. We remember it was their husband's birthday, or their dog likes this certain food, or their
Mhm.
child is going to school. Okay. So this woman came back to me, beautifully coiffed, done and dressed,
Mhm.
ready to go. And she said, I've been looking at those highlights. I've been looking at those highlights you're doing. I want them.
Mhm.
There were two people in me. I want to do her right this minute. Secondly, the hair has already been done. She got what she came in for. And third of all, I can't do a squeeze in. I will upset this client and the one next.
Mhm.
So I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Without wanting to, I lost her, because there are certain people, and I have to say, I did everything. And I said, come tomorrow. Can you come back this evening? What
Yeah.
about if I meet your, it was, and I call this when I teach, and I'm going to be teaching in Boston on the 28th, the power of now.
Mhm.
Now, here's what I call the power of now. When I opened the salon in New York, I had been the director of education at Clairol. I'd helped create and launch Logix. I was on my way to being a special consultant to Redken, where I made color fusion. And what a wonderful experiences I've had. I've worked with chemists, top marketers, top finance people, and I'm a teacher. My degree's in education.
Mhm.
What I learned about the power of now is this. Yes, there are challenges about selling retail, and it's tougher, and you should not base your business on retail. You should base it on service supported by Richter scale, fabulous retail. And here's what I mean. When I opened the salon a long time ago, 1986, in business 24 years, huge business. There was a shampoo that's still on the market, Maria, and it was invented, I think, before I even joined Clairol in the 70s, called Shimmer Lights shampoo.
Mhm.
Everybody now has a violet shampoo. But
Mhm.
back then, the big one was Shimmer Lights. And the
Mhm.
lady could go to the drugstore or the grocery store or to whatever to buy it. But guess what? When I would use it on their hair at the sink, on their blonde, and I showed them the bottle, I'd say, if you want this, it'll be at the desk. If you don't need it, that's okay.
Mhm.
But when she saw her hair color blown beautifully smooth and styled, and she said, this color is great. Can I
Mhm.
help maintain this high? I said, it's at the desk, and we'd love for you to take it if you want it. No, step right up. It's on special. I've got a deal for you. And I put it at the desk. 7 times out of 10, that's how I sold sprays, conditioners, color bearing conditioners, shampoos. And I trained my staff to be that way.
Mhm.
And so we have so much opportunity. I
Yep.
want to talk, there's so much opportunity.
So I
And
want to just chime in on the retail because I just want to share a
yeah,
quick thing
yeah,
that I've been doing and teaching a lot of my salons because again, we evolve, how people shop evolve. So here's two tips that I want to share about moving retail, and there's no excuses. Actually, three tips.
yeah.
Number one is have products that you really love, right? So you have to be sold on yourself to sell. Because if you don't really believe in it, don't even pick it up and try and sell it. It's
No,
people going to feel that energy. And bringing the recommendation right to them, people want to be heard, pampered, treated well. It's how they feel. So you're not selling them anything. You're simply saying, here's the insurance to take care of the great product. The second way that people are selling in some of the salons I coach and work with, and in my salon, I've created an online store. What does that mean? I have partnered with brands that I love, one brand in particular that, well, actually two. They give me a link, my own store, that I have a QR code that is on my desk. When the client's there, I say, here's what I think you should order. And while they're sitting there, I make them order it online and it's shipped right to their house. Then
right.
they save this QR code because there's a lot of clients that they don't want to buy the
I don't
retail,
want to
but
bet
they
you.
want to shop at 12:30 at night. So here's my retail link. Maria gets, I'm just saying, me or any salon who does this gets 35 to 40% commission. You don't buy the product up front. You don't have
Oh,
to spend money. And then you could use this money on your back bar. So you're actually getting your product, your color. And I have a whole list. If anybody watching this wants the list about the people I know that have affiliate links that are only professional, just comment below or DM me and I'll send you the link, the list. And the third thing is, you can private label. This is another thing a lot of my clients are doing. There's amazing, fantastic, high level manufacturers nowadays that are making the same products for Bumble and Bumble, for all
yes.
your favorite brands, for I don't want to name brands because I don't like to promote anybody in particular, but the highest level brands are getting their products made from these same manufacturers, and you can get your products made. I know there's one company which I will plug them because I've referred business to them. Genesis. They make great products for like $1,500. You can launch your own private label brand that, of course, then your clients can't buy the stuff anywhere else. But again, you have to test the brands. Again, if you guys want any of this information, I teach all of it inside the Salon Business School, or just DM me and I'll send you information. But there's so many other ways, right, Beth, to make money. Like you can have extra 10, $20,000 a month of revenue on just retail. Your clients are at home on your link shopping for hair care because they're in the mood at 1 o'clock in the morning, right?
Right. Right. I used a wonderful company called Nature Rich, which is based out of Carrollton, Texas, from Minardi Color Care. And what I
Mm,
did is I submitted benchmarks of this is what I think's great. This is what I think's great. It's not without its costs. You have to think where will we can either pay a warehouse to store it and ship it, or we can do it ourselves. I will refer my wonderful client Laura Geller, who used to come to me, a fabulous makeup artist,
love her.
said,
Love
said to me, she said,
her foundation.
her it's
You know, the
called
Blur
the
Foundation.
Blur Foundation and she burnished and all that. She said, you know what, Beth? I started this on a card table in my garage with my mother.
Absolutely.
Now, those days are tougher and over, but we have to get creative and we have to say to the client, you can't use budget shampoo at your back bar, do a
No,
lousy shampoo and expect to sell the retail that's not on your back bar. Your back
absolutely.
bar is where it all begins. So that's really important. And it's the way the color looks. One of the things I talk about often here on my Facebook group page, which is Conversations with Top Color Pros, I have Beth Minardi Hair Color, another page, and please, my new intense education website, Beth Minardi All Access.
I'm
At
going
the
to drop those links below, guys. If you want to join, I'm going to put everything below this video so you can easily find what we're talking about. So no
Thank
worries.
24,000 people follow me every day. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but here's what it is. They all only want to talk about hair color.
I love it.
And I have people from Dubai, Japan, Russia, Tokyo, all over the United States. And they know who they are. They're people who've been following me, my goodness, for more than 30 years. And the wonderful input they have. And everybody, they're tying themselves to a star. And that star might be someone they work with.
Mhm.
What you and I talk about so often with retail, service, and everything,
Mhm.
more than ever. And I just spoke with when I went to a Paul Mitchell beauty school and was able to give a lovely speech. Entering this field has to be a little different than being a lawyer or a doctor, because there's something very attached to this that some lawyers have and many doctors have, but not all. Every person in this beautiful business of ours has to have passion. You gotta love it. And maybe I love what I do. When a woman looks in the mirror and says, "Oh my gosh, I didn't think I could look this way. Thank you," or "Thank you for listening to me," and "Oh my goodness, it's so shiny." What I've realized is the minute the minute they approach the salon and walk through that door, bang, that experience begins.
Mhm.
A dirty floor, somebody chewing gum at the desk, nobody at the desk, or not being greeted by a person who looks like that. Maybe the client doesn't want to be like you, but they should understand that you are happy being you and you know about image.
Mhm.
Whatever they say is image, whatever they
Yeah.
think is image.
Yeah.
You have to, in your mind, target who is this customer? Who is this customer? You know, I I attach the color service to, here's what happens. Here's what we do in the salon. But to maintain that color, here's what you can do at home.
Mhm.
I will tell you, the advent of color containing shampoos and conditioners, and doing a step at the sink I call color conditioning, rather than glazing them with a liquid demi, which I still love to do.
Mhm. Mhm.
I will shampoo them and I will custom blend a color bearing conditioning treatment.
Mhm.
Bring it down so no surprises. Apply it, and with my own two hands, massage. And if we have a shampoo assistant, I'll say, give her 7 minutes and then rinse like crazy, and we'll see her. When they look at them, they'll say, well, am I being glazed? I say, not only are you being glazed, you're being color conditioned, and you can do it at home. It's not going to cover her roots. It's
Mhm.
not going to make her come in, but it's going to make her or him love you. So
Mhm.
that's something not everybody does.
Yeah, so
And
that's like a great add-on. I'm going to add something and kind of tap on the
please,
marketing part of it, just spinning off of what you just said.
absolutely, please.
So what I think is super important in this day and age. Now, we did it for years. We just didn't know we were doing it. And
Right.
it's called personal branding. So guys, everyone listening, I really want you to grab a pen and paper. This could change the trajectory of your business and your client experiences. So Beth mentioned the client experience, it happens the minute they walk in the door. I'm going to add to that. I think it happens the minute they decide to look for a new hairdresser.
Yes.
Because nowadays I'm going to pick up my phone and I'm going to be like, best highlights near me, best blowout for curly hair near me. I'm going to ask my phone, who's the best person for what I'm looking for? And what I want you to write down now is getting crystal clear as to who you want sitting in your chair. Now, Beth attracts luxury clients. She has a very strong personal brand. Her brand is luxury, chic, Chanel. Like, we don't have to question what her personal brand is because we know her and we know the results she gets for clients, right? Celebrity client, Manhattan hairdresser, Manhattan colorist expert. But maybe you are not emanating where you want that. Maybe you want more of a boho client, or you're attracting moms, or maybe your business really wants to focus on curly hair, or your business is only balayage and hair extensions.
Yes.
Whatever it is, or lashes. I mean, this is whatever you want. You have to be crystal clear on what your brand looks like, what you say online, how you dress, how you speak, and clarity on your Google. This is free. Your free Google business listing has to be crystal clear. I own an organic salon in Manasquan, down the Jersey Shore, okay? It's a niche market. So that means it's very niche, meaning the women that look for an organic salon are holistic. They don't believe in certain things. They don't want toxic chemicals. They eat the whole foods. You guys get where I'm going with this? Most of them are recovering from cancer or an unfortunate toxic, some kind of disease, whatever. So our Google business is very clear in the verbiage, and it's verbiage that they're looking for because it's an ideal niche. So I personally feel, and this is just my take on marketing today, because I know so many people message me that they're overwhelmed with social media and their marketing. But the first step is write down who's that ideal client. What's your service that you want to be known for? Like Beth Minardi is a colorist, a luxury colorist, right? You want to be known for your favorite, I say your favorite top three things. No more than three. One is even better. And being clear in your Google business listing with the words you use over and over again. That client experience, because if I decide now after I get off this Zoom with Beth, I kind of want to blow out. I want my hair straight. I can't stand it all poofy. I'm going to pick up my phone and I'm going to say, best blow dry near me for curly hair. And boop, 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 everyone's going to pop up. The best reviews, the best pictures, the best experience where I can get an appointment without stress is who's going to win the game. And this is the newer way of thinking that a lot of us have to evolve into that we don't want to. But if we don't evolve a little bit, you're going to get left in the dust.
You're right, Maria. Change can hurt. Change is uncomfortable. I looked at a very famous, very fine colorist. I saw what she was doing on platform, and I thought that the model was a before model, and the model was an after model because she was embracing what many younger people, younger women and men, this girl wanted something a little edgy. She didn't really want to cover her gray. She wanted to embrace it, but at the same time, make it fashionable. And you know what? I understood what she was saying, and I understood her approach. Now, the kind of client I serve, an 8.5 out of 10 is not with that. But I will say the huge thing that happened, and I hate to use the word COVID. I posted today on
But we'll
my
say the C thing.
the C thing. Oh, the C thing. Yeah. Well, I posted today on my All Access a huge discussion about gray, and I've been talking to a lot of people about it.
Mhm.
Part of it's political. Part of it is an evolution of hair color. Part of it is finance and pricing. Finance is in embracing age. And we have to listen to all of this. I believe there are several reasons. Number one, when a celebrity who is beautiful embraces green, purple, blue, balayage, super blonde, or silver, people think, I could do that. Jane Fonda, Andy McDowell, Emma Thompson, and others. But you look at them, they're well lit, they're made up, they've had surgical support, they're gorgeous, and they're styled up the wazoo, and it looks great. And it goes there. A gray silver shade has been chosen to accent their skin and eyes.
Right.
Just like brown, red, and blonde, we have to accent the skin, hair, and eyes, and the timetable and the personality. Silver is simply a selection. So when someone wants to do that, the easiest thing to do is go to a discount store, go on Amazon, push bobbed wig with gray hair. It'll cost you $30.
Yeah.
Put it into your station. And when someone consults and says, I want to go gray, say, maybe that's a good idea. Why do you want to do this? Comb her hair, put back and put that gray wig, because now you're showing her not what you can do today, but what she's going to look like. By the way, some of them look great.
What a great idea. I love that.
And it costs you $30. When I teach, I bring it with me. Chris, one of my teachers, stole it and he wears it now for his client. But he said it changed his business. $29.99.
Yeah.
You put it on, and some of them will look good. Some of them you'll say they don't look very good, but they love it.
Right.
And when they never, if you look at a sexy man with gray hair who's an actor, and I have met several, they do not allow the eyebrow to be gray.
Yeah.
The eyebrow for a man and a woman cannot be gray. Even now, if they want that, fine. If they never want to tweeze their eyebrows again, that's fine. Maybe they're great haircut customers. Maybe they're great, but image. And so I think people should. If you are a very earthy person with very natural color and soft or no makeup, that's who you will attract. If
Mhm.
you are a person who has flowing hair or hair, that's who you will attract. I had an exquisitely talented young woman working for me at Minardi Salon who was very out there. She had a pin in her nose. She was all tatted up. She had white hair with blue in it. She was talented and can do anything. She only attracted that client, and she could do traditional hair beautifully, and she was very frustrated. You and I both understand.
Well,
So
it's your personal brand. Like your personal, that's what I was saying. That's your personal brand. We emanate and attract what we put out there. I have a quick question for you about color. I was questioning something. What are your thoughts? What's your favorite demi color to just cover the gray? I used to love your demi, but I've never found anything even close to it.
my demi was special. Here's what I did. Okay, there are two kinds of demi color. Acidic liquid demi,
Yeah,
that's like when you put on sheer pantyhose and you can look through them.
like Shades
Or-
EQ, right?
You got it. Or when you have a glass of iced tea and you hold it up to the window and you can see through it. Those are sheer liquid demis. They're fabulous. To cover gray, and it's amazing. I posted this morning.
Oh, okay.
Demi cream color is not acidic. It's slightly
It's
alkaline.
alkaline.
It will
Okay.
cover without lift.
Mhm.
The benchmark I used when I made my brand, and I beefed it up a little and mixed it differently,
It
was,
was so good, Beth. It was
well,
so good.
I still have some in the closet here. People still say, why don't you have your brand? And that's another
Well,
video.
we could, that's
Okay.
another thing. Yeah, we'll stay on an
But
upbeat.
the benchmark was Wella Color Touch. And I
Oh,
always use, when I taught for Wella briefly, I showed people perfect on steel gray, 99% white. I mixed Color Touch at level 8 or deeper with equal parts, not double, equal parts of the 1.9%, which is like 5.5 volume
mhm.
developer. I applied it on 1/8 of an inch sections because application's part of the game.
Yes, you taught me that. Yeah.
I covered her with plastic cap on those roots, put her under heat for 20, let her cool for 20. Or the moment that I did that, I began highlighting and lowlighting the hair lengths.
Mhm,
By the time that was done, I just give her 30 minutes at room temp, take her to the sink, and glaze her with Shades EQ or with my liquid acidic demi.
mhm.
Now,
Okay.
but the price was not just for a single.
Well, of
That
course
work did
not.
not, that dimension didn't need to be done every time, 3 or 4 times a year, twice a year. But I had a client, nobody else was well, my team members like Buddy Dudley, and all did that. They loved it. And the client said, nobody else can get this. So there are cream demis, and I will tell you, Wella Color Touch, Color Sync is wonderful.
Really?
Gold Color Sync by Matrix is
I
a
had no idea.
surprise. Artego makes one called Beauty Fusion. It's a liquid, but you can turn it into an alkaline.
I've used that. I don't know. I wasn't crazy
You
about
know
it.
what?
I mean, I'm just giving you my opinion.
Here's my opinion. The price is right. It's not that easy to use. It's fine.
Yeah, it's
It
okay.
ain't Shades EQ, and
Yeah.
it ain't Huverse, which made Evo Fabuloso and is available. Huverse, they make exquisite liquid demis. Rusk liquid demis are okay, but I believe, and the king, and I tell him all the time, Shades EQ as a liquid demi, Color Touch as a cream demi,
Okay.
Color
Color
Sync,
touch. Okay.
and yeah, and Davines makes some really lovely demis.
Oh,
Davines.
they do too, and they're cleaner. All right, that's great. I didn't mean to pick your brain, but that's been something I've been meaning to ask you. So there you go.
One more thing before we leave this. There are companies that tell you you can take their permanent color and turn it into a demi. Nope.
No, right? No.
It still has an ammonia or MEA. And non-ammonia hair color is not gentler. It
No.
contains MEA or AMP. In order to penetrate the cuticle and the cortex, to cover gray and to lift, a color must be alkaline.
Correct.
That's
Correct.
what we talk about in class, and everybody's so happy. I'm
I
so
know.
glad you're bringing this up and how to market this because, oh, and Goldwell just came out with a new Colorants double N series for gray coverage.
I always loved Goldwell. I will tell you, I remember, I mean, I'm dating myself, but I
You do.
remember when
Anthony
Colorants
Garubo.
came out and I was like, oh my God, what is this? And was so great. But anyway, so I just want to cover one other topic that everyone always asks me, and I think you can relate to this. It's, we've had longevity in this industry, and we've had longevity meaning I can share my story a little bit. I've been in business 38 years. I started my first salon in Union, New Jersey at 19 years old. I trained with you at 17 years old in New York at some event that you were having at your salon. Um, and I can say this is how it's been in
Yeah.
38 years. There's been good, there's been bad, economies change, markets change, people change. So we have to change. And the question I get all the time is, Maria, how did you create longevity and wealth? Now, I raised two children as a single mother. I had lost everything. People don't know this. I lost everything in my divorce. I lost my businesses. I lost my house. So again, it's not like people see you online and they're like, oh, she's doing great. She's blah, blah, blah. Wealth is something we create in being happy. Wealth is something we create in our relationships and how much we love and how good we treat people and how happy we are every day in our business, accompanied with money, because money is an energetic exchange for a service well rendered. And I
Yeah.
want to remind everyone, right? And I know Beth is on this with me. Our industry is the most lucrative industry, no matter what's going on around you, because everyone wants to look good. The trick is going to be you have to adapt and educate yourself more, invest in yourself to create that wealth. You have to get out of the vortex of negativity. Where are you spending your time? If people don't feed your soul and support your mission and actually help you reach your goals, you might need to change what's taking up your time. Because sitting on Facebook groups, folks, and complaining and bitching and being negative, that's not going to help you create wealth. That's not going to help you expand your client journey. Invest the time in you. What can I do to make this better? What can I do to make this customer journey better? And on this customer journey, I'm just going to share one little secret. I go to a salon once a week, a different salon once a week to get a blowout. Do you know
Uh-huh.
why? I own salons because it keeps me grounded. It helps me see what I'm doing better and it helps me see what I can improve
Yes.
with my team, and it's like from the minute I book it, I'm like, oh, this was good. Maybe I should tweak this in our businesses, or maybe I can teach this. Look at this. And it's almost like, people hire me for secret shopping their salons. So I get to see the good, the bad, and the ugly, and it helps me grow because we get complacent, right, Beth?
We
So,
do.
I mean, I'd love your take on this. And I know people think I'm crazy, but it has been one of the most pivotal things in my career by secret shopping for myself. And then I started doing it in my consulting practice. So I might come to your salon because your boss hired me, or the owner hires me to just go in as a client to really see what's going on, who's dropping the ball, what could be better, what was great. And it's a perspective because we all get complacent,
We
right?
do. We do. And I hired secret shoppers, and some of it was the good, the bad, and the ugly. The New York Observer wrote something about another salon, but it was attached to what they said about my salon. It was really very whatever. I can say this. It is important to evaluate and to look beyond. When I was at Clairol, I used to say, hey, guys, we're making logics. We can't compare everything to Miss Clairol. We've got to
Mhm.
look at Fermisi and Goldwell and
Mhm.
Schwarzkopf and L'Oreal and this, because everybody gets myopic. We believe we're the
Mhm.
best. And the television program Mad Men with that adorable John Hamm, he was talking to the man who took his job over, who was a very strict, buttoned up Harvard dude. And all of these creative people hated the
Mhm.
guy. And they weren't doing what they did for John Hamm when he was Don Draper. And he goes, let me tell you something. These are creative people. They don't take to shitty management and being told. At the same time, guidance. You know what I would do with my gang? Unlike other people, I'd say, okay, 5-minute meeting in the stairwell because we were in New York. I'd take them in the stairwell. I'd say, number one, we've got this person coming in today. Number two, we're out of this lightener. Use this one today. Number three, we got to make sure that the vents are cleaned, whatever. Number four, Doug, you did a fabulous job. Victoria, I loved it. The woman's upstairs going on and on about you. What did you do? What did you use? What are the shades? And I say, okay, we're really done. If you need me privately, you
Mhm.
come to me in the office or you call me. And that was my 5-minute meeting. And it was more than just going through, and the following quarter was, no. And also praise in public, discipline or correct
In
in
private.
private.
Mhm.
And it's hard. And we do lose people. And we do lose people who go to other salons. And our records do get stolen. But we have ourselves and our passion. And I will say this, there's in beauty school right now, there is this very woke thing, which is I am beautiful the way I am. I will care for who I am. I will not take this treatment from a woman. Sometimes the treatment's not abusive, it's not polite, but there are expectations, and those we can meet. And part of my classes, that my immersion classes, are talking about these and you and I are like the fairy godmothers of this. And I'll tell you why. In my salon, I was in charge of public relations, advertising, getting contracts with other companies, teaching in our salon, developing my staff, being a great hairdresser, meeting with the press when there was a press, doing interviews, doing television, and the business, which was huge, of the insurance, the rent, the
Mhm.
lighting, the electricity, the water, all that was my ex-husband. It was huge. And I was so taken with what I needed to do that I couldn't embrace what he was doing.
Mhm.
And therefore, there needed to be a central where, and today it's different because there's so many suite people. If you're alone in a suite, you need Maria, you need me, you need other people because you are alone. I recommend that when you graduate from beauty school, you become an assistant and don't think you know everything. I will never open a car paint and body shop. You know why? I don't know how to fix cars. I need to say to, here's a killer colorist, Maria, somebody walks in the door. She's got on a scarf. She's crying. She sits down. She's there for a correction. And this happened to me. She takes off the scarf. Her hair is as green as a shamrock for St. Patrick's Day. And she's been invited to the inauguration and has been invited to sit on the dais. And there's a problem. That
Mhm.
was, I've had women with a brush, a giant hairbrush stuck in her hair with knots that took, okay. I've had women who were so afraid of a haircut, their husband had to hold their hand like they were in labor. I've had, people who wanted to bring a happy wolf to the appointment,
Yeah.
and you have to kindly tell them that we love animals, but you can't bring a wolf in here. Um, and adapt, this has been fun for me. I'm currently writing a book about this,
I love this. I can't wait. So
but
I
but I
think the
can't. But
key here is mentorship. I
yes,
think no matter where you are, and a lot of people are gonna get mad at me for this, but I always have mentors. I'm 57 years old. I've been licensed 40 years.
I'm
I
mentored.
constantly invest in myself. You know why? Because we have to keep growing in order to create that wealth. If you just say, "Oh, I know everything," and you get an attitude, I don't care if you're in beauty school and just got out or you're seasoned. We all need support. Mentorship is the magic key to expansion,
Mhm. Absolutely.
technical, business, and mindset and marketing. You need all of these. Otherwise, you're not going to grow to have the life, the wealth that you desire. And you're
And I
going to get
also,
burnt out, right? You're going
you're,
to get burnt out.
you are. And number one, don't learn to use only one brand of color. Learn how to use every brand of color.
The law.
For whatever you believe and whatever you look at that client, what do you think you need to do or to be to interest them? We are technicians, we are psychiatrists, we are artists, and we are entertainers. That person might not want to talk about what's on Netflix, but they read a book.
Mhm.
That person want to talk to you about they're going to a car race with their husband in Alabama.
Mhm.
Another person want to talk about they're thinking of retiring. Being able to respond in something better than oh, and talk about, explain to, tell me what's going to go on. People want to talk about themselves. And,
And that's it.
so my passion is to elevate salon hair coloring to an art form.
Mhm.
And for $2.06 a month, or to come to one of my classes, that's what I'm here for. And I want to color your hair if you're a person who wants hair color. The more I'm in this business, the more I love it. And I remember my beauty school teacher, Mr. Mario. who was and every day he and Miss Olivia would have a fight in front of us. But he did teach me, number one, take care of that client and make sure she gets a great shampoo.
Yes.
Make her love you and make sure that massage. And I don't want to see anybody with color or shampoo behind, and condition. And when you're conditioning, use those hands and tell her what you're doing. And then learn to wrap a turban around and take her to the chair and unlock the chair and make her comfortable. I learned that as part of my training.
Yeah.
And I don't like to hear that teachers will put on Beauty and the Beast by a movie with Fran Drescher that was about the hairdresser. I love this business, and I know you do too. And what you do with Mark, see, we were taught to work hard and grind. You're teaching us to be a business person.
Yeah, well, I'm teaching what I learned the hard way, meaning work smarter, not harder, honor yourself, have clear boundaries, market, and grow wealth. And I just want to touch on one thing before we close. The importance of if you're in a suite, there's nothing wrong with that. But remember that if something happens to you, you get hit by a bus, you get sick, God forbid, anything, you have no income then. So I want everybody to look outside the box. Even if you're an employee, if you're an owner, we want to create businesses and careers that generate us income no matter if we're actually physically doing the work or not doing the work. And it looks different for every single one of us. And it's super important to remember, guys, you are in control of your destiny. Don't let anyone ever, ever make you feel like you're not good enough, you're less than. We are a multi-billion dollar industry, and there's so much money and abundance and wealth for all of you. Do not get sucked into the mindset that people are broke, that people can't do their hair.
Right.
If you're clear on your mission, who your ideal client is, and optimum service, I guarantee you nothing's going to affect your business. You can create it to work for you. And this is what I teach you inside of the Salon Business School. And I want you guys to also up your level of game and your professionalism and join Beth Minardi All Access. The amount of education and color education you get inside of her program is a second to none. There's nothing out there on the market like this. And if you want to be top tier producer, top tier making money where you do what you love, you have to level up your color game. That's where the money is. Color, extensions, all the things that are higher ticket. That's where the cash is. So I want to hopefully that we inspired you today. We love you. Beth is amazing. I'm going to put both links where you could join Beth Minardi All Access. Honestly, guys, you're blowing more than $6 on a stupid coffee. You need to get inside Beth Minardi All Access hair color.
3 months, $6 for 3 months. It's
That's
50 cents a
nothing.
week.
Like, come on. Come on. Stop complaining and get up leveled.
I love you.
I
And
love you too.
everybody needs to go to the Salon Business School. I'm joining. I need so much help on the business side because the technical side has been my love. But it's time, baby. It's time. And there's no one like Maria. This is the kind of stuff I cover in my class. I'll be in Boston on April 28th. But for goodness sake, please understand how special you are. You got two fairy godmothers right here, and we're here to love you, help you, and you got to know you're special, and there's only one you. Maria, I love you.
Thank you.
God bless you. I think we did something
God
fun
bless you
today.
too. I love you. One more thing before we go, guys. We're taking a poll below this video or this podcast. If you want to see Beth Minardi and me, Maria Fontana, live next year, let us know, because if we have enough interest, we're going to throw together an event in New Jersey. So sending you guys lots of love. Thanks, Beth. I love you.
Color with hair, dream every day, and dream in color. We love you.
Love you too.